Welcome to one of my dumbest Spore challenges ever. Beating the game on hard difficulty, but everything I do is random. From the parts I give my species, the tribes I interact with, and the civilizations I'll befriend or destroy with nukes. It'll all come down to this Wheel of Fortune, which means I can create the best species possible or the worst one in history. Now we start off by of course choosing the hard difficulty and randomizing our planet's name. After that we were shot on the planet with the help of a giant meteor and caused mass genocide. Now welcome to the Soul stage, where as soon as I spawned in I was hunted by some giant souls. But despite that I still managed to kill all of the local wildlife in my vicinity. In doing that I managed to obtain a spike. But not just that, I killed so many species that I got a ton of DNA points. So guess with that, it's finally time for us to call over our first woman. Now welcome to the Cell Editor, where the fate of my cell lies in this wheel. Seriously? Eyes? Well then, as the wheel instructed, I gave the poor and innocent cell some eyes, which in all honesty will do absolutely nothing for us. But the second spin gave us the spike, which is actually quite epic because now we'll be able to kill those souls far easier. Okay, I did still have a few problems here and there, but I did in fact manage to get a few new parts and even more DNA points. So I was hoping that the next time I mate with a woman, I'm gonna get something more useful. Eyes. We got more fucking eyes. Not just once, but twice. So I guess now we'll be able to see everything with the resolution of the finest Samsung camera on the planet. In all honesty, this build really wasn't the best, because the wheel kept giving me useless parts, like eyes or more mouse. But somehow I did in fact manage to make it work, and even though I died a bunch of times and got the life sucked out of me, I eventually managed to kill so many creatures that we finally obtained a small brain, which means we can finally evolve to the next stage. We'll do that with a poison butt, mouth, and get this, you won't guess it, yes, even more eyes. Well then, this has got to be one of the weirdest creatures I have ever made. But I didn't let that stop me, no. I crawled across the map and somehow I managed to sing my heart out and befriend these creatures. But I honestly have no idea why they chose to befriend me. Like look at my creature. It looks like it just spent the last 50 years in a Chernobyl reactor. Heck, if that wasn't insane enough, I managed to befriend yet another species. The fuck? Darwins. And with their alliance, our little creature has obtained a bigger brain and a ton of DNA points. So it's time to slowly crawl back to our nest. Bro, what the hell is that sound? Then mate with a female and give the fate of this poor creature to the almighty wheel. Alright, I guess it chose some arms. That's honestly not bad. But I need something better. Right. Yes! We got legs! Finally! I won't have to crawl at the speed of a dead snail anymore. Anyway, the wheel also gave us more eyes and claws. But as you can see, we have hit the complexity limit. So we'll sadly have to sell a bit of the less important parts to make room for the new ones. Yes. Welcome to the new world. Your name will be Anton. And I think it's finally time for him to test out all his newfound powers of destruction on these poor blue things. And let's just say, they might look like the most useless creatures possible, but those bastards still managed to pack a punch and send me to the grave. But I wasn't gonna let that stop me, no. I channeled all my power and let out a fierce war cry, which incapacitated those bastards in fear. And with that, I managed to bring their species to extinction. But just when I thought that things were getting better, I was brutally reminded of why I hate the hard difficulty. Because a gang of birds decided to do everything in their power to take my life, and Spore being Spore, it crashed. But eventually, I managed to recover my species from the cell stage and got it back to where we left off. I did that by killing everything in my path until my family decided to move to another nest. So I had to take this slow bastard across the whole map, where they were literally attacked by all kinds of beasts. Well, I was totally unaware of this happening because I was fighting for my life on the toilet. But eventually Anton managed to find his new nest, where he of course immediately began to have some freaky time with a woman. And honestly, I had high hopes this time, but the wheel, will it actually answer them? Okay, I did literally get 2 more pairs of legs, which is basically useless. But I got myself wings and also better striking claws. So now we might actually stand a chance against stronger species. Well, shit. As I was saying, it did in fact help us to get stronger, which resulted in us getting an even bigger brain. But our biggest problem was these Chernobyl-looking humans. They were literally just too strong, and they kept killing us over and over again. So I decided I was going to get revenge by becoming stronger. So I killed a ton of species, which gave me a ton of DNA points, and somehow the wheel landed on the spike, which allowed me to get one of the strongest spots in the game, coupled with even more legs. And using these abilities, I killed a bunch of those humans. They did put up a good fight, but my perseverance came out on top, and they were sent to heaven. Eventually, we upgraded our creature even more. We killed everything in our path, and we even killed one of the strongest species in the game, a raw beast, which ultimately resulted in us obtaining a ginormous brain. That brain will allow us to progress to the next stage with the weirdest looking creature in the history of Spore. Now welcome to the tribal stage. This is honestly going to be one of the hardest stages yet, because the tribal stage on hard mode is literal hell, and the Wheel of Fortune has already given me its verdict. It wants us to go and destroy our first village, the Brown Village. So I prepared for our invasion by killing a ton of animals, stealing the food from their decomposing bodies and using that to make a ton of babies. And now, with our army at full capacity, I began my annihilation of the Brown Village. I showed them the power of my exploding balls, and I used all of my power to swiftly kill every single one of them. Not even the children were left. But despite that, they kept respawning, which is one of the many reasons I hate the hard difficulty. But eventually, I managed to destroy the hut, which resulted in 3 new tribes to appear: the Pink, Cyan, and Green tribe. So I put the 3 tribes into the wheel, and the wheel, well, it decided we must exterminate the Pink tribe. Yeah, but that wasn't going to be that simple, because the Pink tribe together with the Cyan tribe both decided to attack my village at once with a ton of members. They were actually comparable to the size of my country's military power. 13 cavemen with flaming sticks. So I had to muster up all of my 2 remaining brain cells to lead my men in the best way possible by unleashing their exploding balls and picking them off one by one. Yes, I know, it was an amazing strategy. But the important thing is that we won. So given this opportunity, we attacked the Pink Village when they were at their weakest numbers. I took all of their food and exposed them to the worst pain imaginable until their hut went up in flames. And just as that happened, well, our base got attacked by the Lime tribe and, well, they destroyed it. So I let the wheel decide, and it chose to eliminate them. Well done, my dear viewers. You know what time it is. Yes, it is time to become the most feared creature on the planet. A Russian when you take away his vodka. And in simple words, they stood no chance against my Soviet-induced rage. By the end, they were even begging for mercy. But nonetheless, their tribe succumbed to destruction. And now the most powerful tribe of all has appeared, the Lavender tribe. So our fate lies in the wheel. Well, I'll be damned. It chose to befriend them. Therefore, we must collect a bunch of food by killing a ton of innocent animals. And eventually, I got enough food to make 3 instrument huts that will allow us to manipulate our enemies' minds into friendship with some weird sounding music. Yes. And now we can finally progress to the next stage, the modern stage, where the wheel will decide world peace or nuclear fallout. As you can see, my men are already very eager to see what it has to say. But first of all, we must establish our dominance on the local area by capturing every spice geyser possible and upgrading our city so much it makes me a ton of money. With that, it is now time for the wheel to decide our fate. It seems it wants us to befriend the Green Nation, so I'll give them some compliments and all of the money I have available. But for some reason, the Orange Nation doesn't like the fact that I want to be friends with them, and they use their whole fleet of tanks to attack the Green City. I tried my best to stop them, but they were just too powerful. They captured the Green Nation, destroyed half of my tanks, and then they proceeded to attack my one and only city with a ton of tanks. In all honesty, we were vastly outnumbered, and they kept attacking us with bigger and bigger numbers, which led me to try a risky tactic. I instructed all of my remaining tanks to attack one of their cities while they were ravaging mine, and somehow I managed to capture it. But well, sadly, I lost my main city in the progress. In that case, I had to restart my game, and I tried a similar tactic once more, which somehow ended up working, which means I eradicated the Orange Nation from the face of this planet. And our last concern is the Red Nation. And well, the wheel has decided their fate. So, I gave them a very hot present. I continued ravaging the cities of the Red Nation, but then I wanted to ask the wheel for the last time, how do I finish the game? And well, let's just say it chose the best option available.